All right, so we're going to dive right into this, like literally lace up and go for a run, but like for our minds, right? We're tackling the half marathon, mentally speaking. You listening right now, you're thinking about that distance, that goal, and we've got this blogger running rebooted, their whole experience laid out.
And it's gold, this kind of stuff.
Oh, it is, because it's not just the miles on the pavement, right? It's the stuff we all go through when we try something huge, get out of our comfort zone.
It's universal. That feeling of, can I actually do this?
Yeah.
This blog, it really captures that.
Okay, so get this. Bloggers just living their life and bam, inspiration. But here's the thing. They get inspired by their friend who limps across the finish line, a half marathon.
If that's not a moment to reevaluate what success means, I mean, we put these pictures in our heads, right?
Yeah.
How things should go. All perfect. This friend's like, nope, I'm getting it done, even if it's messy.
Right, like, yeah, it hurts, but watch me cross this finish line. And you can tell it totally lights a fire under the blogger because what do? They sign up, half marathon, here we come, but plot twist.
They missed the fine print. Classic.
Oh, yeah, this is good. They think it's, your regular road race, flat, predictable, but no, it's trails, hills, the whole shebang. Have you ever done that? Signed up for something and been like, wait, this isn't what I agreed to?
Who hasn't? But it's more than just a funny story, right? It gets at this thing about goals. When life throws the curveball, how do you roll with it? You thought you knew the plan, and suddenly it's, okay, how do I handle this?
It's like life's a trail run, You're cruising along and bam, hill you never saw coming. And for our blogger, that hill, it gets real literal, real fast.
Yeah.
And then the race itself, oh man, it's all about to go down.
Nitty gritty, right? And by that, I mean blisters.
The dreaded blister. Turns out, went with the cheap socks. Rookie mistake? Maybe. But it's that little detail, right? It says so much about how even if you're prepared, life can still, life happens.
100%. Like, good intentions only get you so far sometimes.
And it's not even just the pain, The blogger talks about feeling alone out there, surrounded by people, but still alone. I think we've all been there, in the thick of it. And it's like, even though others get it, you feel so isolated.
It really is, that being surrounded and still alone in your head. And when you're already pushing yourself physically, that mental game, it's huge.
No kidding. And for this blogger, it gets worse because then they hit this, I'm going to quote them here, the hill that never ended. You read that and you can just tell the exhaustion, the doubt creeping in. They look up expecting the top, right? But there's just more hill.
It's like that feeling in any challenge, isn't it? You think you're almost there, but it just keeps going.
The worst.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? When your body's done, your mind's telling you to quit, what's the secret?
Well, the blogger, they say they put their head down, just one foot in front of the other. Classic for a reason, right? But then there's this other thing, mentally breaking it down.
Oh, like don't think about the whole elephant, just the bite in front of you.
Exactly. Instead of this massive hill, it's, okay, get to that tree, then the next bend in the path. Smaller goals.
I love that because, yeah, huge tasks, they can paralyze you. But one step, you can do that.
Right. And honestly, sometimes it's admitting you need help. Even the best athletes have got coaches' support. It's okay to not do it all alone.
And speaking of needing help, remember, this whole thing's a trail run, right? Well, amidst the blisters, the existential loneliness, this blogger gets lost. Like, actually can't find their way.
Oh no. See, even when you're not pushing your physical limits, getting lost is disorienting.
Totally. So mid-race, already wiped. I'd be freaking out. They didn't give up, though, did they?
This is the best part. They downloaded the course map onto their watch. Talk about a tech save.
So smart. It's like, yeah, be prepared, but also that resilience, right? It'd be so easy to be like, well, I'm lost, might as well quit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But they adapted, used what they had, got back on track. That's huge. And that whole lost thing, it loops back to what we were saying before about how life throws curveballs.
Yeah.
This blogger, they had to adjust. And that's what made them successful in the end.
And you know what comes after resilience? Crossing that finish line. They did it. But this is a deep dive, so we got to talk about the emotional roller coaster after, right?
Because hitting your goal, it's not always pure joy, is it?
Not always. Especially, I'd imagine, when you've kind of signed up for something even bigger next.
Wait, there's more.
Oh, yeah. You see, while signing up for this half marathon, they also signed up for a full.
Oh, man, that's like next level commitment. So they're riding high, they've conquered this thing, and bam, the reality of what's next hits.
It's brutal, right? Because on one hand, it's, I crushed it, I'm amazing. But then the aches set in. And they're thinking, double this. Can I actually?
It's like the human experience summed up, you achieve something and suddenly the next mountain's just looming.
Exactly. That next hill, always bigger, right? So what'd they do? This wave of doubt, how'd they handle it?
They talked about this moment, just sitting with it
Mm-hmm.
and remembering why they'd signed up both times.
Mm.
It wasn't external pressure or anything. It was what they wanted to prove to themselves.
Oh, that's good. It's like, be better than you were yesterday, not better than anyone else. And sometimes that takes ignoring the doubt, taking the leap.
Totally. And that's why this whole story, it resonates even if you've never run a mile. We all have those inner voices telling us we can't. But the magic, the growth,
Hmm.
it's improving that voice wrong.
Man, so true. And that's what I'm taking away from this whole deep dive. We started with a run, but it became about so much more.
Yeah.
Ambition, the unexpected, pushing past those limits we set for ourselves.
So think about that today, right?
Yeah.
That thing you're putting off, that feels too big. What's one tiny step you can take to get started? Silence that doubt. Embrace the journey. Every step's progress.
Love that. All right, listeners, you've heard it here. Time to lace up those metaphorical shoes, hit the ground running, one step at a time. Until next time, keep exploring, keep pushing, and keep diving deep.